Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Rob Thacker. I'm the music director here. We're going to sing our gathering hymn number 349, We Gather Together. Please rise and body your spirit. I also want to acknowledge today that we have a guest musician with us who's going to help us out with a couple pieces. This is Matthew Zaleski, so thank you, Matthew, for being here. And that way you all can be like, who's that guy? And you'll know. So please rise and body your spirit, and let's sing hymn 349, We Gather Together.
Good morning. I invite you to join me in reciting the words of our chalice lighting, which are up on the screen, and now, after the time change, you can see them. We join our voices in a communion of mind and heart, dedicated to the promises that bind us in compassion, one with another. In this hour, we light the flame that signals our intention to find the sacred in every living thing.
Good morning. I am Alicia Ruslow, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to St. John's Unitarian Universalist Church. Here we offer a community of hope, a community that can journey with you through life. A warm welcome in particular to our visitors, both in person and online. This morning, St. John's is proud to be a welcoming congregation. We seek to be a spiritual home for all, and as such, we honor and value the racial, economic, cultural, age, physical ability, sexual orientation, and gender diversity of our members and visitors. There are many great things happening at St. John's. Please review your order of service, and you may want to check out the TV in the lobby or the bulletin boards in our fellowship hall. I'll also have some at the end of service. Now, if you could put your cell phones in church mode, and again, welcome to St. John's. All right, our opening words this morning are from the Reverend Elizabeth Mounts, called The Church Incarnate. Come into this place, bringing all you hold with you. Though your heart may be heavily burdened, whether you be on the brink of tears or burn with unquenchable rage, this community can hold you and your strongest emotions. Yes, even the messy ones are welcome here. Come in if you sing just a little bit too loud, if you hold still as statues and just breathe it in, if you sway to the music moving your soul, you are welcome. Come in and say amen when the Spirit moves you. Tell that preacher to preach. Yes, that's right, tell us. Or close your eyes and quietly let your mind float free on the blessed words. Come into this place with every piece of yourself gathered up, and let us be the church incarnate. Let us bring forth the Spirit of all that we love by the words of our mouths and the doing of our hands as we make this sacred time together.
Sorry, that's me. We're now going to sing hymn 313, Oh, What a Piece of Work We Are. Work are we. Now, oh, what a piece of work are we. This is one that, with the choir this morning, was not super familiar. So I'm going to ask Stephen to play it through one time, and also just say, I encourage you all to always get hymnals, because you never know when I'm going to throw one at you like this that nobody knows. Okay? So here we go, 313. We'll listen to it once. Please rise.
I invite you to join me in reciting our affirmation, which is up on the screen. This is the mission of our faith, to teach the fragile art of hospitality, to revere both the critical mind and the generous heart, to prove that diversity need not mean divisiveness, and to witness to all that we must hold the whole world in our hands. May it be so. Unitarian Universalism is a tradition that welcomes people who believe many different things. We offer a community that will be with you through the joys and the concerns that come into your lives. Each week here at St. John's, we honor the experiences of our lives in our ritual of stones for joys and concerns. Here at St. John's, we do this by placing stones representing what we carry into the sand that represents our community over all the years we have existed. If you would like a joy or concern to be read, please leave them on the table. And if you are online, you can put them in the chat, and we will read them at that point in the service. We light a candle to honor all that has been represented by the stones placed in the sand and all that we continue to share with one another throughout the day and week. We have one spoken concern today. Charles Seibert has entered hospice. Sarah says that they lovingly appreciate the cards and emails they have received, but she can't respond to them just now. You can send them, but she can't respond to them all just now. She does tell Charles about the messages, and he appreciates them. He doesn't have the energy for email correspondence and is not using his computer, and they would like to not have visits at this point. Just going to hold that in silence for a moment. We're doing something a little different for our meditation today. From your seats, I invite you to join in singing Comfort Me. As we get to each verse, we'll pause between each one. And it's a little bit different than what's in your books, only a couple of words difference. It should be correct up here. So feel free to sing or close your eyes or do whatever feels right for you. So the words that we will sing will be the comfort me, sing with me, rest with me, rise with me. Oh, my soul, at times the challenges I face are too much illness, too much struggle, too much conflict between family and neighbors, too much suffering in the world, on our screens, and out of sight. But we know it is happening, and what shall we do? Can I bear the weight of it all? It is hard to be human, especially a soft-hearted one. Spirit of love, will you comfort me? soul, at times I feel alone, isolated, even if there are people around. It can be hard to share our inner worlds with others or to let them help. But when we sing together, we feel one another's presence, and I know that together we have enough caring to go around for everyone. Gathered community, will you sing with me?
Sing with me, sing with me, sing with me, oh my soul. Sing with me, sing with me, sing with me, oh my soul.
Oh, my soul, sometimes we are just weary when it's hard to get out of bed in the dark morning, hard to face difficult tasks, hard to lift our feet or open our hearts. We know we may need rest and fortitude. We may need to fill the well within. Rest is a gift that we try to allow ourselves to have when we need it. Our needs are important, and we deserve rest. Oh, my soul, can you rest?
Rest with me, rest with me, rest with me, oh my soul. Rest with me, rest with me, rest with me, oh my soul.
When we have been nourished with song, we go stronger. When we have felt the presence of caring community around us, we are more able to use our own power. When we have given body and spirit the rest they need, we are renewed. And yes, when the light grows, mercy, the light is growing day by day. Like green growing things, we will be ready to rise in power and beauty. We return to the world and bring to it love and joy.
Rise with me, rise with me, rise with me, oh my soul. Rise with me, rise with me, rise with me, oh my soul.
I want to invite the kids and anyone else who feels interested to come forward to learn a bit about Joseph Priestley, or just find out why I have a candle and a cup here, or I'm holding a candle lighter. Whatever draws your interest. So does anybody know who Joseph Priestley was? Any of you? A few of you. Good, good. Joseph Priestley was a Unitarian minister who lived a while ago. But he was also, so he preached about God, and he preached about love, and he preached about people's connection to one another. But he was also a scientist. He was very curious. Are you ever curious about the world around you, why things happen? Yeah, you guys? Yeah, of course. Unitarianism, Unitarian Universalism, and science go well together. Unitarians are encouraged to appreciate science, explore the world, believe scientists. I know that's radical these days, but it is what it is. So one of the things that really fascinated Joseph Priestley was how air worked. And so he would notice what would happen, he learned about what happened when you put, for example, a candle under a glass. What do you guys think is going to happen? It might go out. Any other ideas? It might get smoky. Any others? Okay, so let's see what happens. I tested this before just in case. Didn't want to stand here for 25 minutes. There it went. It went out, and it looks a little smoky in there to me. What do you guys think? Exactly. It used up all of the oxygen. And he tried this out in a lot of different ways. One of the things he noticed and helped us learn about was that when he would put a bigger container with a candle, but also with plants, the candle would last a lot longer. Any thoughts on why that is? You guys can answer too. Oh.
Because it's flexible oxygen.
Yes, exactly. So the plants give oxygen, and the fire uses it up. So they were working together to make it last longer. All right, that's the end. Sing the children's blessing.
The offertory that we take each Sunday isn't just a stale habit. It's an opportunity to recommit to this place and to these people. Our offering is an affirmation, a yes. When we give, we say yes to something we value. With our gifts freely given, may we say yes to the values of our faith. May our offering help us practice Unitarian Universalism within and beyond our congregation as tools to empower our mission. St. John's is committed to creating a safe and caring community, working for peace and social justice, and celebrating beliefs that respect freedom of thought. Please give as you are able. Wonderful. Our reading this morning is called Nourished and Transformed by Lisa Garcia Simpson. Spirit of life and love, spirit that lives within us and between us and among us right now, within this beloved community and in our work for collective liberation, may we continue to weave the web of trust and care to keep our bodies safe. But more than that, may our bodies be the site of healing, joy, and freedom. May we refuse to let our spirits be depleted and hardened by the forces of hate. Instead, may we open ourselves to be nourished and transformed by the movement for justice, knowing that our collective story is not what we are fighting against, but what we are fighting for. For ours is the work of creation. Ours is the work of inviting people into an irresistible movement, rooted in our belief that a new world is possible. And the center of our work is love and joy and the spirit of abundance. These are the things we are fighting for, and these are the things we are fighting with. May we know deep within our bones that this is the call of our faith. Amen and blessed be.
Thank you, choir, and thank you, everybody. I just want to say, I think it was a couple weeks ago, Meg was like, I think we've practiced this one before, but never actually performed it, because it's a really challenging piece. But thank you. You performed it today, so thank you, choir. It was really, really good. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You ever feel like you're performing after the star? So now I have words. It was in offering communion that my understanding of food and the world around me started to change. A part of my seminary education involved working with Episcopalian priests who were running an outdoor ministry for folks who were homeless or recently housed. Everything happened outside, including the worship services. A few weeks after I started with Ecclesia, one of the priests asked me if I'd be willing to help with the communion. The language in the communion liturgy was distinctly universalist. It invited people to the open table, even if the most they could claim was curiosity. I was nervous, but the priest reminded me that while I was UU, not everyone in the service was Christian, and that everyone was welcome at the table. After that, I would follow one of the priests who walked around Boston Common offering bread and blessings. And the opportunity to offer grape juice was my role to this community scattered across the Boston Common became sacred to me. I wasn't asked to use a specific set of words, so I gave the small cups of juice out and shuffled through a small set of phrases that I got from Sufi blessings, reminding people they were loved, they were worthy, offering peace. But more than the words, this small symbolic offer of bread and juice was a moment of connection, a moment of being seen and cared about to a community that was mostly ignored or even despised on the streets. To be seen, to be fed, to be told you are worthy of love is a recognition of some of the most basic and deepest needs we have as human beings. And our bodies remind us every day that we need care and attention. Like every human being throughout time and every animal on this planet, we grow hungry. For us, every few hours. It's a sacred connection that binds us to all life on earth in an intimate give and take of life and death. Is it any wonder that we find rules, ceremonies, and celebrations around food in every religion? Several religions, including Hinduism and Islam, have elements of their religious life and celebration that include times of fasting or restricting food. Many of the largest religions have restrictions around which foods are acceptable to eat. Some Jews keep kosher. Jews and Muslims tend to avoid pork. Islam, Judaism, and Sikhism have rules about how animals that will be eaten can be killed, ensuring there will be as little suffering as possible. Unitarians mostly focus on coffee, but that's a whole other thing. Do we recognize food intake as sacred? A way to honor the cycle of life and death, as well as a way to honor our bodies? Do we recognize the deep care that goes into making food for another person? I'd venture to say that for most of us, the answer to that is no. Our relationships to food vary so widely. Some of us are allergic to various foods. Others aren't allergic but find we don't handle some things like gluten or lactose very well. We make choices around food based on preference or belief, or based on money or lack of it. And in our culture, which has commercialized our bodies and their sizes, we are encouraged to see food as the enemy, spending our time and money focused both on food and on restricting it. But what if we were able to change that relationship? Remember that foods that are safe for us, I'm not encouraging you to eat food you're allergic to, can connect us to ourselves, to each other, and to the web of life across Earth. I was reminded of this again the first day I entered California. I saw fields and fields of grapevines, strawberries, avocado trees, and more. And I saw workers, people in the fields, mostly brown faces, I noticed. But perhaps that also is another sermon. At one point, I saw a huge pile of almonds and realized humans had a hand in planting the trees, in shaking the almonds from the trees, and in gathering them into piles. I had grown up in Kansas, and I got used to the idea of corn, wheat, and milk and where they came from, and so used to it that I didn't really consider it much anymore. But there was something about living in California, and so close to where so many different types of food and grapes were harvested, that I began to think more about the fact that each meal I have was touched in some way by many hands. When I eat meat, it comes from an animal, and I have since that time considered how many lives touch my own just through the daily act of consuming food. Our connection to food is a big part of our participation in the interdependent web, and it's a sacred experience. Norman Werbiz, in Food and Faith, A Theology of Eating, says that the very act of eating is an act of communion with God and God's creation. In order for us to live, we must eat. In order for us to eat, we must take life. Life must give way to death in order for life to be sustained. And that is an intimate process, which reminds us that we are in fact connected intricately with all life, and with all that sustains life, the soil, the air, the water, the sun. What if we thought about it that way? What if we thought of food and as a result our connection to the web of life as sacred? Starhawk, a witch and activist, says that when we honor the sacred, we make love possible. This is the power, I think, that can be offered by religion. It's something Joseph Priestley found when we approach the world around us with a sense that it is sacred. My colleague, Reverend Kendall Gibbons, says, "Somewhere this planet has a showstopper for you that takes your breath away and makes you tug on other people's sleeves to make them see what you see. The whirling autumn leaves with their wedding song of death and beauty, the heartbreaking call of the loon or the wolf or the whale, the nuzzling of newborn creatures after the labor of birth." She says, "For me, it is waterfalls. I could stand all day dumbstruck by the vision of such endless abundance, the living energy of creation poured out unceasingly before my eyes, seeming to promise a truth that something in the world, and therefore something in me, is never and can never be exhausted." She says, "It makes me want to weep, want to dance, want to fall on my knees and be one with whatever it is in everlasting praise." She goes on to say, "Let me promise you, as clearly as I am capable of knowing what I know, that none of this has anything to do with Jesus or Buddha or people who want to burn assorted writings or people who take a violent exception to the burning of their favorite texts. The primal experience of reverence in and for the natural world precedes theology of any variety, and it's an organic human experience that requires no supernatural explanations." Imagine for a moment how things might change if we regarded the world around us and the food we eat as sacred. We would be called again to protect the environment. working to combat climate change, which endangers our ability to grow food and to nurture life. We would work hard to elect political leaders who put ethics over profit. We would rethink who has access to food and who doesn't. We need to eliminate food deserts and ensure that everyone has access to a variety of foods that nourish and sustain them. In a world where food is sacred, how might that change our relationship to each other? What if we saw cooking dinner for our family as a sacred gift that we approach the way we might approach entering worship? What if we saw preparing a meal for ourselves as a way to honor the needs of our own body and our own connection to all of life? As we move into Thanksgiving week, in a year that once again feels different from so many others, I encourage you to consider your sacred connection to all of life. Even if it is just this week, to consider approaching your meals with gratitude and reverence. Henry David Thoreau, one of our Unitarian ancestors, once wrote, "I have great faith in a seed. Convince me you have a seed there, and I am prepared to expect wonders." My beloved spiritual companions, we are part of a small part of a wondrous existence. May we remember the beauty and wonder that can be found in all of life. May we speak out when actions threaten that life. May we recognize the healing power contained in the simple act of sharing food together. Blessed be. Amen.
All right, so for some of the great things we've got going on, Ann and Nancy, I'd invite you to come forward for your announcements. Next week, we're going to have a forum from the Last Mile Food Rescue in Cincinnati and Santa's Kitchen, which Nancy is also a part of. The bake sale is going to return. It's going to be December 15th, 8th, 15th, and 22nd. So bring your treats or bring some cash to buy other treats that people have. There's also going to be a wrapping party for those who love and hate wrapping gifts, and that is going to be on December 13th from 6 to 9. Friday, December 6th, 7 p.m., sorry. Did I say? Okay, the last one was the 13th. This is December 6th at 7 p.m. We're going to have a blue Christmas service for those of you who need a little space for something other than just joy and light. And then save the date announcement on January 26th. After the service, we will have an all-congregation visioning discussion and potluck, so there will be food. This will be about planning for the future of religious education. And then this Wednesday, the 27th, we are canceling lunch with a minister due to the Thanksgiving holiday. One more thing before I invite Ann and Nancy up. Jeff and Rich are both sick today, so we have coffee, but we need help with cleanup. So if you're available, please stay afterwards to help with cleanup. So.
Well, speaking of food, Mary Lynn isn't here today. I'm standing in for her. Thank you, Randy, for bringing me the sign-up sheets. Circle dinners are going to be happening from January to May. We have 13 different volunteers who will be hosting these dinners. The point of these dinners is for you to get to know people that you don't know. That's part of the point. The other point is eating well. Usually the host does the main dish, and then the people who are attending will bring something, and usually it's kind of planned ahead, not a complete potluck. Anyway, I'm going to be in Crow Pfeiffer after the service. where Mary Lynn usually is, so that you can sign up for where and when you would like to be. They're all over town, meaning town and greater Cincinnati area. But I'd like to encourage some of you long-timers, to find somebody new or newish in the congregation and say, hey, wouldn't you like to go to this circle dinner with me? So we want our new people to get involved. This is the best opportunity to get to know people. So hopefully you'll do that. And it's just 2 weeks till the first Santa's Kitchen. Just saying.
Lots of opportunities for food. Also, Christmas.
I wanted to say something about, wanted somebody to talk about Thanksgiving.
Nobody has talked to me, so if you have details, feel free.
I don't know, I was asking.
I think I don't know anything about it. Is there Thanksgiving? There's a potluck meal here. Do people know the time? Is it open to anybody? At 10?
2 o'clock is when it's open, and then 4 o'clock is when they're carving the turkey, is what it says on the slides.
There's a slide? What? No alcohol. We're going to piece together this announcement. So the doors open at 2, food is served at 4. Everybody's welcome, or they are now. It's a potluck. It's a potluck, so bring something. Don't bring alcohol. Anything else? There's something on Facebook, but that doesn't reach everybody, yeah. Stay and clean up. From 2 to 6, snacks will be available. Lots of games and music. Non-alcoholic. I think we did it. Thank you, Roberto. Also, Christmas Eve will be at 7 p.m. Look for more details on Christmas Eve. Look for more details in the e-news. And if you're interested in being a part of making that happen, let me know, which you will get more details in the e-news. Anything else? Are we done with announcements?
I think we're going to sing.
Sing!
Please rise and body your spirit as we sing hymn 126, Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing.
May we recognize the world in which we live as a sacred place worthy of reverence and protection. And may we approach our world with curiosity, generosity, and love. Go in peace, go in love. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving.